In my last video, I talked about the mountain property that I purchased in western Colorado. Beautiful 25 acres that I initially purchased as a campsite. After looking for several years, this one met all of the bullet points that I had on my wants and needs list, and so I closed on it in early 2020. As 2020 progressed, I realized that not only was it going to be a campsite, but it was also going to be developed into an off-grid RV living site where, if needed, I could live in an RV far away from civilization for an indefinite amount of time. So in this video, I intend to discuss some of the infrastructure that it takes to create an off-grid RV campsite like the one that I wanted to create, and to show some of the things that I'm doing to this property. So the first thing that I wanted in a property was I needed it to have a well. This property has a 200-foot well that provides fresh water through a well pump, and that well pump will ultimately be powered by a propane generator. This video will show some clips of the progress on the well house, which has a basement, and all the plumbing is contained in that basement, and then the well house is constructed on top of that basement, and the well house will contain holding tanks, pressure holding tanks for water, as well as storage for tools and the generator and other things that need to be contained there at the well. I'll also show the construction of the driveway to where the RV pad is going to be, and we'll show the construction of the septic system, which has a concrete 1,000-gallon septic tank, the cistern freshwater holding system, which holds water that's pumped to it from the well. That's an 1,800-gallon tank that is underground. All of this is designed to not freeze because the winters do get cold here. And then the wastewater disposal, which is a leach field, which reaches out across the driveway, and it's where the septic tank drains into. And then we'll look at trenching and plumbing the water line from the well to the cistern tank. And this video shows some of those endeavors. And in the next video, we'll go into some real-time descriptions and video of how that process went and what we did to accomplish it. It's the end of August 2020. We're up at the Spring Creek Mesa lot. The boys and I came up here to install the infiltrators in our septic system today. 72 of them, 4 rows of 18, if my math is correct. And we're about done. Went pretty quickly, pretty smoothly. And then we have over here the tank, 1,000-gallon concrete septic tank that was installed Thursday. And that's ready to be backfilled after we get it plumbed. And then using sand for leveling everything. And then up here on the top, on the opposite side of where the pad's going to be, which the RV pad's going to be right here where this track hoe is, we've got a 1,800-gallon, it's actually, I think, 1,780-gallon cistern tank, and that's where the well is going to pump the fresh water and store it, and then it will be plumbed through this trench right now to a frost-free hose bib, frost-free hydrant that'll be coming out of the tank through a submersible, probably a half-horse pump. Progress. These here are the risers for that water tank. So these will bring it up, I think they're 14 inches or so, maybe 18 inches, and the caps. So that'll bring it up so we can bury it and still have access to get someone down in there when needed. So what we're doing right now is we got all the infiltrators installed, and we're screwing each one of them together. They're not even designed to have that done, but we're gonna do a little overkill, and it's a practice a lot of people use, so we got the stuff, we're going to do it. There she is. So this is the septic tank. It's a 1,000-gallon concrete tank that we're just about ready to bury. We got to plumb the inlet right there where that T is, and then it runs across the driveway, which is right here, to the leach field, which is right there, which has already been, infiltrators are in, and there's 4 of them. They run about 75 feet back to where those white pipes are coming out of the ground, and it has been obviously backfilled. Tom, the excavator, is digging the trench for the water line right now. He's all the way back to the start of the driveway, and that water line will come across the driveway and work its way this way to the 1,800-gallon cistern tank, which is right here. And this will be buried and gone forever. It will contain a pump inside of it that will be powered by a generator, and it will hold water from my well. And this is the trench for the water line, which will fill the tank. And then here we have the propane tank, it's a 500-gallon propane tank, which will be set somewhere else close to the pad, and then 500 feet of water line with another 100-foot roll of water line, because we've got just under 600 feet of line to install. So there will be one splice in it, and these then are the risers. The green things here are the risers for the water tank. So they'll bring those up, so it'll give me access to it once it's buried. And then the frost-free hydrant is where the water will be accessed from. And this, where my truck is, will be the pad eventually for the RV. This is the trench on the, I guess it would be the west side of the driveway. Rocks are the big deal up here. Everything is rocks. Huge boulder in that trench that had to be dug up. And that's small compared to some of the ones we've dug up. We're just about to connect this trench with the one on the other side. It's the waterline trench. These are the 3 lines coming out of the well house right here. And I'll tie into one of these and run this way with the water line.